Welcome in, everyone. Welcome in. Hope everybody is doing good tonight. Lisa Marie, welcome in. Welcome back. Welcome in and welcome back. John, welcome in. Hope everybody's doing great. Julia, welcome back. Lisa Marie, thank you so much for the likes. I really appreciate that. Thank you for the likes. We'll begin in a couple of minutes, 10 minutes after the hour, or 20 people, whichever comes first. Hope everybody's doing great tonight. We will begin in a couple of minutes. How is everybody's night so far? Do we have any East Coasters on tonight? Welcome to those of you on YouTube. Thank you so much for the subscription. I really appreciate that. We'll begin in a couple of minutes. Isaiah Perez, how are you doing today? Oh, you're Central Time, Julia? Okay, so you're 2 hours, so 8, 9, 10, 11. Okay, 11 o'clock. 11 o'clock. All right, we'll begin in a couple of minutes, everybody. We're just waiting for 10 minutes after the hour. Thank you so much for the 1,000K likes. Really appreciate that. Look at how pretty our decorated hearts are looking in the background. Our Valentine's Day stuff. Isaiah Perez, my day's going really good. Thank you so much for asking. Almost over. Almost time for bed. We got about an hour before bedtime. And how is your day going today so far? We'll begin in a couple of moments. Just waiting a couple minutes. Good? Oh, okay, good, Isaiah. It's good to know. February 2nd, we already got 1 month behind us of 2026. 12 more days till Valentine's Day. Anybody gonna do anything special for Valentine's Day? Falls on a Friday this weekend. Wait, no, a Saturday this year. So that will be nice. That'll be nice for the economy. Everybody will go out on Valentine's Day. Restaurants will be busy. It's a good time to stay home and cook though too. Get your money's worth. Finn, welcome in. Yes, actually, I'm streaming on TikTok as well. I have TikTok on this side and then YouTube on this side. I normally record my lives on YouTube so that I can store them for later. But my main feed is TikTok right now. We'll begin in a couple of minutes, just waiting for 10 minutes after the hour or 20 people in the room, about 2 minutes left. We have all new fresh titles, tons of books to read tonight, tons. Let me see if there's any repeats. We might read the octopus one again because that one was really good. That one was really good. The illustrations on that one are really good. And I've had this one sitting around for a while that I'm thinking of doing. I've been waiting for our friend, one of our friends. She hasn't come on recently. Okay, let's go ahead and begin. Everybody, I hope everybody's doing great tonight. Our goal tonight is 45K. The East Coast made about 60K in likes earlier. Thank you so much. Finn, we're doing TikTok Live as well. So I'm on YouTube as well as TikTok Live. So if you hear me talking a lot, it's the other streaming service. So let's go ahead and we're going to set the timer for 1 minute. Let's tap, tap, tap. We want to get to 45K tonight. Hey, Henry Hudgens. Welcome in, YouTube. Our goal is 45K. The East Coast made 60K tonight. Finn, it's Joe E. King Books. If you go to my YouTube link, in the link you'll find the links there. 65K. We made 60K for the East Coast. All right. We have been reading. It is February 2nd. It is Black History Month, so we are taking a page from our Little Leaders, Bold Women in Black History. Earlier we read about Raven Wilkinson, a ballerina. And today we are reading Wilma Rudolph. We're going to read about Wilma Rudolph, 1940 to 1944. She didn't live that long. She was a sprinter. Wilma is one of America's most famous sprinters. But her journey to the finish line was a long one. When she was 4 years old, Wilma contracted polio, for which there was no cure at the time. The disease paralyzed her left leg, and she was forced to wear a metal leg brace. Wilma was different and got teased a lot. She was small, and her sandy hair made her stand out. But Wilma was also strong. With lots of hard work, determination, and physical therapy, she was walking without her brace by the age of 12. A year later, she was running faster than all the boys and girls in her grade. My grandma had that on both of his legs when he was 21. Oh my gosh, really, Tanya? Tanya, welcome back. By middle school, she had joined track and field and was winning every event. When she was only 16 years old, she earned her first Olympic medal at the 1956 Games in Melbourne, Australia. Only a few years before, she had never heard of the Olympic Games, but now Wilma was determined to win gold. In Rome in 1960, she became the first American woman to win 3 gold medals in the single Olympics. When she returned home to Clarksville, Tennessee, a parade was given to her in her honor. But Wilma found out that the organizers planned the event to be segregated, so she refused to participate until they agreed to integrate it. As an American icon, Wilma knew her stance on civil rights could have an impact. She didn't let the fact that she was so young stop her. How amazing that one brave voice can make a difference. Wilma later became a teacher and a coach, and in 1981, she started the Wilma Rudolph Foundation to support young athletes. Miss Wilma Rudolph, 1944 to 1994. A good way to start our read alouds tonight. In the comment section, let's see what everybody's thinking. I give this one a 10. You cannot not go wrong with reading a civil rights movement book, Little Leaders, especially in the month of Black History. Mexi Pina, you give that one a 10. I give that one a 10 as well. And especially in these times, And especially in these United States of America. We're becoming more America than United. Okay, let's dig into the stacks. Oh, let's set the timer for 1 minute. Our goal tonight is going to be 45K. Right now we're at 8,000. You guys are getting close to the first goal. The first goal is about 10K before the end of the first book. If we can get that, that means we're guaranteed that we're going to get to our goal. All right, our next book we're going to read is called Albie the Lifeguard. You guys are going to really enjoy the illustrations on this one. Tonight's a really good illustration night. If you were during the East Coast feed, you got really good illustrations. And remember that when we talk about children's literature, a lot of times the illustrations in the books can be taken as art pieces and placed on a wall in a museum, and you wouldn't know the difference. They're that good. So we're here to appreciate short stories, but we're also here to appreciate art. Good art. Albie the Lifeguard. The day the town pool opened for the summer, Ward, Will, Em, and Tony all signed up for the Dolphin swim team. Right away, first thing, they wrote their names at the top of the list. So here are our friends, Ward, Will, Em, and Tony. They signed up for the Dolphin swim team. And right away, first thing, they wrote their names at the top of the list. But not Albie. Albie hitched up his suit and carefully read the swim team categories posted on the pool bulletin board. Team practice, 9 a.m. sharp. Freestyle, backstroke, breaststroke, and butterfly. Albie looked at the lap lanes, long and blue. He couldn't swim a whole length of the pool without stopping. Not a race. So there's Albie. He's looking at that. He couldn't swim a whole length of the pool without stopping. Not in a race. So he's not feeling it. Instead, Albie did a cannonball off the board and made a huge splash. He dove for pennies, gleaming copper at the bottom of the pool. He leaped into the deep with his karate shriek and then bobbed about like a slippery seal. Then he sat underwater in the shallow end and had a tea party with his two big sisters. Albie knew how to have a good time at the town pool. That sounds like fun. I feel like this is something that I would do with my friends in the bottom of the pool. Go to the bottom and have a tea party. Silly. While he waited for his buddies, Albie watched the lifeguards sitting in their tall chairs, swinging their whistles, cleaning their sunglasses, and calling out important instructions. Slow down, no running, no dunking, and no food near the pool. That's when Albie decided to play lifeguard in his own backyard. So there's Albie, just enjoying the day. Been really enjoying these illustrations. They're like very smooth. The next morning, just before 9 a.m. sharp, Albie sat on his front steps and watched Ward, Will, Em, and Tony walking down to the town pool for team practice. Everyone had snazzy team suits and goggles and sleek caps and kickboards under his arms. See you after practice, Albie, his buddies called. There's Albie seeing his friends taking off, doing their thing. Albie hurried into his house and climbed the stairs to the attic. There, in the dustiest corner, covered with cobwebs, was his lifeguard chair. It was just the right size and even had some rungs to climb. Albie put on his jazziest bathing suit, his sister's sunglasses, wrapped a beach towel around his waist, and headed for the backyard. So Albie has a really good imagination. A really good imagination. All morning, Albie sat high in his guard chair, swinging his whistle around his fingers. Look at him. He's all decked out with his sunglasses. Albie shifted in his chair and listened to his neighbor, Mrs. Salerno, playing the piano. Albie could tell she was just a beginner. Then he blew his whistle loudly and announced, "Will everyone under the age of 18 please clear the pool? It is now time for the adults to swim." Isn't that great? There were many things for a backyard lifeguard to do, like setting up umbrellas on sunny days and listening for thunder on cloudy days, and, of course, making sure there were no diapers in the big pool. That's so random. So he's got his whole day planned out for himself. Albie saved a toddler who tripped over a kickboard and tumbled into the deep end. Then he broke up a water balloon fight between some smart Alex who were playing rough. And then he had to throw the life ring from the back of his chair to save a grandmother who got a leg cramp in the lap lane. So he's got a busy day ahead of him, filled with safety. Things were so busy that Albie helped out in the snack bar when his shift was over. The Blue Rocket ice cream bars sold out fast. Those are really good. Love a really good blue ice cream. Albie looked at his waterproof watch. Swim team practice was almost over, and so he closed his backyard pool for the day. Albie left his whistle and his sunglasses and his life ring down by the deep end, right by his chair. He hopped on his bike and pedaled to the town pool, humming summer songs all the way. Isn't that a great picture? I just love the smoothness of these illustrations. There were his buddies waiting for Albie in their wet team caps and wet team suits. Albie showed Ward how to make a bigger splash with his cannonball. He shared his shiniest pennies with Will, and later Albie had an underwater party with Em and Tony and let his guests pour the tea. Albie knew how to have a good time at the town pool. On the day of the first swim meet, Albie helped the pool manager hang a string of flags across the pool for the Dolphins. And then Albie stayed to watch his buddies on the team. He cheered the loudest, he clapped the longest, even though they lost, even though Tony didn't swim the whole length of the pool. So there's his friends cheering him on. He didn't feel he could do it, I guess. But that's okay, said Albie. You'll do it next time. And he patted Ward and Will and Em and Tony on the back. In June, the Dolphins lost more than they won, and Albie went to every meet. On the 4th of July, Albie stood for a long time by the guard chair, looking at the length of the pool. The lap lanes seemed a little shorter, and so he wrote his name in bold black pencil at the bottom of the swim team sign-up list. There he is. At the next practice, Albie showed up in a snazzy team suit and goggles and a sleek cap and carried a kickboard under his arm. Ward helped him with the breaststroke. He butterflied right behind Will, and Em and Tony said Albie was terrific at the breaststroke and freestyle. This is a good reminder, especially for those friends who are in the cold East Coast. On all the mornings after that, when the town pool shone like a blue mirror, Albie arrived at practice before the rest of the Dolphins swim team. And for a few minutes, Albie had the town pool all to himself. The end. Albie the lifeguard. This is a cute one. I give this one an 8. We'll probably revisit it during the summertime when we have our sleeping tent up, just to give us those summer vibes. Okay, in the comment section, let's see what everybody is thinking. We started out our live with Little Leaders, Bold Women in Black History 1. We're celebrating African American History Month. And then Albie and the Lifeguard 2. I'm going to go with 1. You cannot ever go wrong with a good historical piece. All right, let's set the timer for 1 minute. We are at 15,000 likes. Lisa Marie, you've been doing your homework. Thank you so much for doing that. I really appreciate it. John, you like the second one? Let's set the timer for 1 minute. We are way above our scheduled taps right now on TikTok. If we can get 10K per each book, we'll make our goal of 45K. All right, let's look back in the stacks and see what we can find. Lots of good titles still tonight. We're going to read this one, especially in these times. My Two Border Towns. We love a good migrant story. One thing I've learned about children's literature is they have really good migrant stories. My Two Border Towns. We love a good end page. Look at that design. Isn't that gorgeous? Beautiful patterns. This one is 2021. Every other Saturday, my dad wakes me up early. Come on, mijo, he says. Vamos al otro lado. The other side is not so far away, just down the road, right past my school. Mama gives us a kiss and a list. It's different every time we go. I grab my special bag, hold it tight, and I follow Dad, thinking of what's inside for my friends. So here's Dad waking up his son. They're going to go to the other side of the border. Probably going to go get some things on the other side since they live so close. There's Mom and the baby saying goodbye. As we drive through town, we pass my favorite spots. Neighbors line up early for Daisy's yummy pastries. At a stoplight, Dad calls to the newspaper man holding out $1. Aquí tiene Don Memo. Thanks. So these are some of the activities they do, the father and the son do, as they go to the next border town. Trump blows Bubba, welcome in. Super Tacos Morales. We love a good street taco. Cannot go wrong with a good street taco. Before I know it, we reach the broad river, a watery serpent that glints in the dawn. Dad reminds me, Coahuilcans once lived here. Before all this was Mexico, both river bands. Now we're two countries. We paid to cross. Morning, it says the U.S. Customs Guard. Dad taking Dad's cash with a sleepy frown. So here they are. Here is the windy river that Dad's talking about. Here's the border. They're going to cross it. I'm loving these colors that they're using. These pinks and violets and yellows and purples. We love a good pink, violet, and purple. It's a great color combination. On the other bank, the gray eagle greets us. Dad waves at the soldiers and they tip their caps. No one searches through my bag at this time. I say thanks to the Virgen. I remember my mom was from Mexico, and when we were kids, my grandparents lived in Arizona. So we would stay in Arizona for a couple of days, and then my mom would take me and my sister and brother to Mexico, where she lived at, which was like 2 hours outside. And I always remember going through the border. And now that I think about it, my mom used to take us, because she had family out there, but she used to take us across the border. She would get out and she would have to present the papers. And she'd always have to take money. She always told us that she took money with us to give to the guards so they would let her pass. Because she would take like food and clothing and candies and stuff like that. I always thought it was always scary to me at least. But my mom, she knew what she was doing. We drive up the narrow main street till Don Chiva flags us down and helps us park. He and my dad shake hands. Le cuido la troca, he says with a smile. You and your boys have fun. This town's a twin of one where I live, with Spanish spoken everywhere just the same. But English mostly missing till it pops up like grains of sugar on chili pepper. So there you have this little town, little Mexican town. Full of activity. We have breakfast in our favorite restaurant. Dad sips café de olla while I drink chocolate. First up on the list, my dad announces, we visit your tios and pick up mom's earrings. Aw, they have a little breakfast together. Dad with his coffee and then little son with his chocolate. And then you have the grandma making some pancakes and the Virgen. Down uneven sidewalks, our feet tap, tap, tap to trumpet tunes bouncing out of stores. We weave our way through street side stalls, chatting with vendors, promising we'll be back. So this is the outdoor marketplace. And look at this guy right here, just going to town with that taco. We love a good taco. And look at the dog slobbering right there. He loves a good taco too. When we reach my aunt and uncle's jewelry shop, I give them big hugs and high five my cousins. Theo Mateo starts complaining about the town mayor. My brain gets so bored, I can't stop my yawns. Aww. All the kids at the Jueria, the jeweler. My primos whisk me away to play soccer in the vacant lot next door. It gets hot, so we're lucky the paletero comes by. We cool our tongues with paletas, mango, and melon. Suddenly, Dad joins in for a dribble and a goal. Then he reminds me we have more to do. So they stop by because the ice cream man is coming. Ice cream man comes and gives those paletas. We love it. We love a good ice paletero. Walking back, we check our list. For ourselves, we need Mexican Cokes, avocados, and a jar of honey. The list says our friends need t-shirts, chanclas, and bottled water. I think they need cold, sweet gancitos and lots of chewy glorias, too. Dr. Sanchez has mom's prescription ready along with other medicine that Dad requests. They have a whole to-do list. I love it. Yeah, Mexicans, they're a lot sweeter too. We load up our truck. Dad gives Don Chiva a tip. Before we head for home, there's one last stop. The most important visit, Dad says. We have a duty to care for our gente. I nod and pick up my bag full of my favorite comics, notebooks and pencils, and game cartridges. So they're about ready to go out. They're about ready to leave. They got one more thing that they need to do. I add the things we brought today. I hope all the kids will enjoy them. As we get on the bridge, Dad pulls to one side. I jump out with the bag and look for my friends. Descansemos. A line of people camp along the edge. Entire families from the Caribbean and Central America. Refugees, Dad calls them, stuck between two countries. The US says there's no room, and Mexico says it can hardly look after its own gente. Elder sees me and rushes over. His hair is longer than when we first met, almost 6 months back. The truth is, a line of people camp along. The entire family says refugees, Dad calls them, stuck between two countries. They're not stuck between two countries if corporate America doesn't want them. If corporate America doesn't want to abuse and take advantage of cheap labor, they're not stuck in two countries. They'll invite them in. And then when America wants to make a political point, they'll turn these people into savages and throw them out. That's America. Sorry about that, guys, but that is so... Corporate America does not get the punishment it needs for taking advantage of immigrants. We're just as responsible. Así, he shouts. Me culta, I reply. We do our special handshake and I give him the bag. Elder's dad joins my dad in the truck. The line crawls on. I show Elder each item, explaining my choices. We give his mother the medicine. She tells me a joke, and the other kids gather to borrow comics. Yes. Built on immigrants. We love cheap labor here in America. The thing is, even America can't afford Americans. We're too expensive. We cost too much for our country. Dad honks. Till next time, amigo, I say, hugging Elder and heading for the truck. An hour goes by before we're halfway across. We take out our passports. Cards that will give us the freedom to travel back and forth. Right? I wish Elder could come to our town, I whisper. We could jump on my trampoline and draw on our own comic. Soon, mijo, Dad says, it's unfair to make him wait, since our country has room for his family right now. But when they get their chance at last, we'll welcome them with open arms. All the way home, I imagine a wonderful day when all my friends from the other side can go back and forth between my two border towns. Just like me. We're very grateful to live in the United States of America. We have a lot to be grateful for. It's nice to be able to come back and forth. The end. My two border towns. A great book. Who knew that children's literature could be so on point with today's political ties? We celebrating Black History Month, two border towns, immigrants, Albie the lifeguard. Great books in children's literature. All right, in the comment section, let's see what everybody's thinking. I had to get on my political high horse, but sometimes our country needs to take responsibility for its responsibilities. Okay, we're gonna set the timer for 1 minute. Let's tap away. See if we can get to our goal of 45K. We are halfway there. You guys are doing an amazing job. Trump blows Bubba, you give that a 10. Definitely give that one a 10 too. All right, that one was our second one. We're gonna read next The Magic in a Year. Oh, thank you so much, Periwinkle. I got it at Old Navy. I really like their t-shirts that they get during the summertime. They're really fun. They last a long time too. They're very comfortable too to wear around the house. The magic in a year. We got 1 month down in 2026. So far, it's been magic. We love a good end page. A rainbow. Some happy birds playing in the water, bathing. The magic in a year. Those illustrations make me happy. Just the colors and the little drawings, the little dabs of leaves, the paintbrush, a rainbow, a nice little red coat, the little dog. Every year has months and seasons. I love each for different reasons. Turn the page and you will see what makes each month special to me. Love a good rhyme book. Hey, Caitlin, welcome in. Aw, thank you so much, Trump Elizabeth. I really appreciate that. That's the only magic anyway. I love it. Thank you so much. It's a good affirmation. Thank you. January brings ice and snow. The winter chill makes my cheeks glow. January brings ice and snow. Definitely for our friends in the East Coast. A reminder. February has rain and ice. When that thaws out, it's always nice. Yeah, we're in for another storm coming in. March blows in with springtime breezes. Sometimes that gives me the sneezes. The allergies go up. April's filled with warm rain showers, nourishment for birds and flowers. Aw, that's so pretty. I can't wait for spring. I think spring's going to be really pretty this year. The snowstorms and the rain. My May bursts forth with colorful blooms, brightening all of nature's rooms. That's really fun. June heats me up with its warm sun, perfect for all my outdoor fun. A little pool and a little sprinkler. July's hot heat is really made for reading books while in the shade. That looks very relaxing on a cot. August evenings feel really right on my porch swing beneath the starlight. There he is beneath the starlight in August. PJs. September paints leaves on the trees. I really love collecting these. Isn't that fun? October's when the air cools down. I trick or treat around our town. Halloween. We just passed Halloween recently. Look at the little leaves. That was fun. November has an autumn chill. I like to spend time outdoors still. We just passed the autumn seasons. October, November, December. December's filled with snow and sleet, so I curl up and warm my feet. We love a good fireplace. It's rain outside. Winter, summer, spring, or fall, I love something about them all. The months pass by but reappear to bring magic to every year. The end. Oh, and it gives you, it's written as a poem here in the back. Isn't that fun? The end. The magic in a year. John, what was April? I missed it. Okay, let's see. What was April? April's filled with warm rain showers, nourishment for birds and flowers. Isn't that great? That was a good in-between book because we got some very heavy topics earlier today. Bold Women in Black History, 1. Albie and the Lifeguard. My 2 Border Towns. And then something fun and sweet with the magic in a year. In the comment section, let's see what everybody's thinking. I'm going to go with My 2 Border Towns. I really like that one. I really like the message on that one. Really like the message. In the comment section, let's see what everybody's thinking. Let's set the timer for 1 minute. 36,000 likes. You guys are doing a fantastic job. Way ahead of schedule. You guys are going to make the goal tonight. I can feel it. Mandy May, you liked Albie? That was a good one. Yeah, that was sweet. Okay, let's dig back into the stacks and see what we can find. We're kind of running low, so we might have to make a library run tomorrow. We're going to look at this one, the 3-year tumble. The 3-year tumble. This one has a lot going on in it. Gorgeous illustrations, lots of details here. We have a character running up on the hill and then coming down again. Love a good end page. With some illustrations on it. The 3-year tumble, based on a Korean folk tale. This one's going to be good. This one's going to be good. I like to find out about different folk tales from different countries. We read this one earlier. The Magic of Kalilu. This is a Caribbean story based off Rapunzel. It's like Rapunzel. But it's in the Caribbean South. And it's about a girl who, there's this tree, the Kalilu tree, that does magic. And somebody steals it. This evil man steals it and eats all the leaves because it grants you your wishes. And then this little girl saves the tree. Isn't that a gorgeous cover? So this one was a Caribbean folktale. This one's Korean. We are getting educated tonight. A long time ago, there lived a grandfather in a tiny village. He had a few animals and lived in a pretty little cottage. When he needed to go to the market, he had to go over a mountain. So we're setting the stage. A long time ago, there lived a grandfather in a tiny village. Here's the tiny village. He had a few animals and lived in a pretty little cottage. Here's his little cottage here, a good fireplace. When he needed to go to the market, he had to go over the mountain. But this was no ordinary mountain. Everyone knew the story about it. If anyone fell while hiking this mountain, they had only 3 years left to live. Where in the world this tale had come from, nobody knew. And as a result, it was known as Misfortune Mountain. Misfortune Mountain. It says, everyone knew the story about it. If anyone fell while hiking this mountain, they only had 3 years left to live. Somebody just fell. So they've only got, apparently, according to this lore, they've only got 3 years to live. One day, the grandfather headed off to the market. As he approached Misfortune Mountain, he was anxious. As always, the mountain looked even gloomier than ever. He started up the mountain. All of the sudden, okay, so there's grandfather, Misfortune Mountain. He's going to go climbing up. He's really anxious about it. He heard a noise, a rustling in the bushes. It sounded like a wild animal. Startled, the grandfather stumbled. It was too late to catch his balance, and he tumbled down Misfortune Mountain. Uh-oh. There was something in the bush which scared him, which caused him then to tumble down Misfortune Mountain. Oh no! There were so many beautiful things that grandfather still hoped to experience, but now he only had 3 years to live. Uh-oh. He's a little worried. There's still a lot of things he wanted to do in life. But now he has to consolidate it into 3 years. 3 years went by. I like how they show that. 3 years going by with just trees. These oddly figured trees. The grandfather hadn't forgotten his fall upon Misfortune Mountain. He began to feel unwell. He became weaker and weaker, and then very sick. Uh-oh. Let's see what happens. With the last of his strength, deeply worried, he paid a visit to the best doctor far and wide. There's the best doctor far and wide, and there's the clinic. But even the best doctor far and wide couldn't determine the source of his illness. You seem to be perfectly healthy, said the doctor, patting him encouragingly on the shoulder. But the grandfather didn't feel healthy at all. So the doctor's saying he looks healthy, but the grandfather doesn't feel healthy. One day, his granddaughter came to visit. She was surprised her grandfather didn't come happily trampling out to meet her. As he usually did. What's wrong, Grandpa? Are you sick? She asked. So normally he would come out to see her and visit her, but this time he stayed inside, so she became concerned. After she had listened to the entire story, she thought for a moment and then said, Grandpa, if you fall down the mountain again, you'll live 3 more years. If you fall a second time, you'll live another 6 years. If you fall 3 more times, you'll live another 9 years. And if you fall 10 more times, you'll live another 30 years. I think this is more like mind over matter. So she's telling him the opposite. And there he is, just falling, tumbling around. Suddenly, the grandfather perked up. He'd never made this calculation. He jumped to his feet and ran toward the mountain. He felt happy once again, as if the weight had been lifted from his shoulders. So he's got some hope. He's got some hope that he's going to live again. The grandfather climbed the mountain and enthusiastically threw himself to the ground. He hopped back up and tumbled again and again and again. He was so full of joy that he didn't want to stop rolling down the mountainside. So he found a way to save himself, and so now he's happy. This is funny. It was all so easy. There he is, tumbling down, adding years to his life with each tumble. How beautiful life is, thought the grandfather. So he came out of it. Ever since, the mountain has been known as Good Fortune Mountain, and people no longer fear it. On the contrary, to this day, people flock to the mountain and tumble happily down its side. Yeah, Tanya, very creative. And definitely mind over matter, or what you think becomes reality. If it's negative, it's going to be negative. If it's positive, it's going to be positive. The end. The 3-year tumble. This is a good one. Really interesting. What do you call it? Illustrations on this. Yeah, Tanya. If you think it's going to be bad, it's going to be bad. If you think it's going to be good, it's going to be good. All right, let's look at our collection. You guys got a lot of good stories tonight. A lot of good stories tonight. We started with Little Leaders, Bold Women in Black History, for Black History Month. Yes, when it rains, it pours. I'll be the lifeguard. My Two Border Towns. The Magic in a Year. And the 3-year tumble. Dayon Ao. Au. Aya, I think. Three little letters. In the comment section, let's see what everybody's thinking. 1, 2, or 3. You guys made your goal tonight. You guys did a fantastic job with the tapping. Thank you very much. Remember that the tapping sends us out to the For You page. In the comment section, let's see what everybody's thinking. Guys, thank you so much for the 45K 1,000 likes. You guys did an amazing job. Everybody have a good rest of your night. We will be back again tomorrow with fresh new titles. I'm going to take all these back and get some new, do a library haul tomorrow so we can get some fresh new titles because we only have a handful left. And I don't think we have enough for both lives. So we're going to have to get some new fresh titles. Alrighty, friends. Have yourselves a good night. Thank you again for the 45K 1,000 likes. And we will see you tomorrow. Have a good night, everyone. Bye, John. We'll see you later. Enjoy your new candle.